Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at the water dragon Glyndwr. It's a cool dragon, it's a water type, it's a good dragon for early and mid game stage, but in my opinion it falls off in the later stage of the game, and also it becoming way less popular as well because a lot of people are transitioning to, for example, Earth, Lightning, or Fire March instead of Water March because, of course, one of the things is people saying Water March is bad or something like that. It's not that it is bad, right? It's because majority of the people are running Earth Marches, and that directly counter Water March, and that make kind of like the Water March becoming a little bit, not relevant, and people tend to just move away from it. But Dragon, in my opinion, doesn't really help to that as well because if you guys saw the Dragon tier list ranking video I made 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago from the day of this video was released, I think Water Dragon is not that good with the newer skills that was released. And I'm gonna show you guys about it in this video and talk about it as well once we go through this video. So that being said, hang in there and now let's take a look at some of the skills that we have with the Water Dragon. So the first skill we have here is Frigid. In my opinion, one of the better skill we have with this dragon is the one that I currently use as well because the other skills in my opinion is a little bit questionable. This one is very good, right? The only downside about this is basically it can get countered by immortals like King Emperor, Genghis Khan, which in my opinion is a huge problem. And also I would like IK to basically make it immune to wound because it's from a dragon skill, right? I believe that dragon skills should be immune to Immortal's ultimate skill. Yes, that's what I think, because if you want this to use properly, I believe that the dragons should be immune. All of the dragon skills should be immune because it's just like special skills, right? It should not be able to counter because if you have a wound, the skills that you restore with life source, right, basically get nullified, and now you basically render this dragon useless. And also, because if you read the Ice Breath, right, has a 45.5% chance to freezing 3 random enemy units and leaving them unable to act or recover energy for 8.4 seconds. In my opinion, very good idea, but also you have a skill that can counter this, and the percentage of chance is way too low in my opinion as well, because a lot of people that use water, they probably know this. If you use water, how many times, let's say the dragon is trying to freeze enemy team within 10 times, how many times do you think is dragon gonna freeze enemy immortals? I can honestly say it's probably gonna be less than 50%, right? And that's just one of the reasons why people are moving away as well from the water dragon. So yeah, that being said, let's go to the next skill. So the next skill is inspiration. Inspiration is, in my opinion, in the same boat as Frigid. You have the healing, and then only basically the life source part of this dragon is basically not very helpful if you're meeting, for example, King Emperor, which is going to be very popular right now, and also Genghis Khan as well. But Ice Breath is more useful. Still, 45% chance to freeze 3 random enemy units. It should have been like 55 or 60% from the get-go, and it increases to 70. That's my opinion, right? And leaving them unable to act or recover energy and causing them to take 3% more physical damage for 6 seconds. Very good idea because Water Dragon stat-wise, right, it increases physical damage more than magical, because everybody knows in this game, when you think about water, you think about Merlin, right? But in reality, Water Dragon helps Margaret, Attila, and these mortals more than Merlin. So if I were to use this, if I were to use, like, for example, not Zenobia, sorry, Artemisia, Margaret, I would probably use this skill right here to, make the synergy work together with the other physical water immortals. So now let's take a look at the Lost Coalescence or Coalesce. I don't know how to spell that, so I'm sorry. Like with other two skill previously, the first skill light source is basically not very useful because you can counter that, but here for the light ice breath, you can increase magical damage. So this one helps Merlin, right? It's basically supporting Merlin directly, but then again, it will only proc if the enemy is freezing, right? If the enemy doesn't freeze, basically it doesn't work. So that is one of the things that, how you see the pattern with the water dragon, right? That is one of the things that I believe that makes, gives an ick to the people with the water dragon, that everybody don't want to use it anymore. And I'm one of them. I used to use water back in the days. It was pretty good, right? Before all these dragon skills become like a thing. And right now, even with the skills right here, in my opinion, it doesn't really change anything on the dragon at all. So yeah, for me, I think this skill is probably one of the worst skill we have, right, among the water dragon skills. So the best one in this for water dragon is definitely going to be the frigid, in my opinion, because you increase freeze and duration, right? And that, in my opinion, is a little bit better to give it a chance to freeze, right? Instead of trying to increase the damage after the freeze with increased physical damage and mage damage after the freeze. That you put too much faith into that thing, and I don't think it's a good idea at all. But yeah, that's my opinion. That being said, let's take a look at some of the reports in the game and see what I think about it as well. So you can see here in the game that I've tried to play around the water dragon before, right? I tried to upgrade a little bit just to see the differences here and there, and you can see here I choose the frigid, and the numbers here for the HP restored and stuff like that is very, very good, right? It's very good numbers. But when you see that 45% chance as the base and then you increase slowly to 50%, in my opinion, do you want to gamble on that? In my opinion, no. And also, this one, although it looks good, right? As I said earlier in this video, you can get countered by wound. And if you know what I mean, I can show you guys really quick in the training camp, right? So let's take a look. You're fighting water team, right? And then you're running, for example, let's make a really quick one, right? And then we use, for example, King Emperor. We use Genghis Khan to make sure it wounds, right? Then you just use a dragon, or you don't have to use it at all. And then we put a skill on these, or at least the gears, so you guys can see it quickly, right? So it doesn't have to be that long. And that being said, done. There we go. No skills. Let's take a look at. Let's go level 40 because I don't want to waste a lot of time for you guys, right? So now I'm gonna show you guys the wound and what I mean by wounds. So, for example, if my King Emperor managed to proc ultimate a little bit earlier, this is ice, right? You see, there's no chance of freezing basically, and now they are wounded. You can see here, boom, no HP regen, 0, right? And this is one of the main problem with the water dragon. You can see here, healing, life source, discard healing 2 times, bam. That is one of the reasons. And you see control, no, there, no, those basically 0%, right? So this is one of the main issue with the water dragon. If they could, have like immunity against that, I think it would be the dragon will be very good and have potential to make water team great again. But for now, if you have wound, if you have CC immunity, basically this dragon is useless. I'm just gonna say it is not useful at all. You are going to be giving like a really, or you're gonna have a really hard time making a difference at all. And you can see here, water dragon, although I mentioned this earlier in this video as well, is when you think about water team, you think about Merlin, but you can see here it favor physical attack even more. So yeah, that being said, you know what to do, right? I hope after you guys watching this video, you guys know what to do with Glyndwr right now. Cool name, cool dragon, cool visual, but when it comes to usefulness, you are going to struggle and it will give you a hard time. So yeah, that being said, hope you guys enjoy watching these kind of videos where I go through them, discussing, tell you guys my idea, what my view on them as well. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video.